Hello, folks. Hope you're doing all right. Welcome to Stay Well with Dr. Zorba Pastor. That's you.
That's me.
There he is.
That is me. I am here.
I love it. I'm Carl Christensen. I'm sitting across the desk from the one and only Dr. Zorba
That's
Pastor.
right. There are not two of me. There's only one of me.
There's one.
Although, actually, if I went to OpenAI or ChatGPT, I could probably make two or three of me.
Yeah.
I could do that. But I would
knows?
still...
The future is...
Which one is real? It's like One Piece. One Piece, the Netflix, which you haven't seen.
I haven't seen that
There are
show.
multiple people. That's great. That's wonderful.
Multiple...
Yeah, if you like sci-fi and eye candy, it's great.
I do.
But I
like
think
all
we're
that.
getting off topic.
Yeah, well, let's talk about the show. We're going to talk about blue zones.
Right.
What are
Very
these
interesting.
places?
I've had their book for years. Let's talk a little bit more about blue zones.
Okay.
I think we can learn from them.
Yeah, a listener asked us about them, so we'll talk about those. Zorba's going to help out a caller. We'll get some listener emails, of course. And my mom's going to tee up one of her famous mom jokes.
That's right.
And just
She's
note,
going on the road with this, isn't she?
She should do a little tour, I feel like. Or at least an open mic.
At least the bars in the neighborhood.
Totally. She should do the open mic in Madison.
Yeah, karaoke. That's in Madison. That's right. Mom joke. You should put her up at the comedy club in Madison.
Yeah, they do an open mic there.
Yeah, open mic.
Yeah.
Mom jokes, open mic.
She should do
Got
that.
it.
And any Wizard of Oz fans out there? Wizard of Anne. That's different, right? They're going to love this joke. Anyway,
it's a different book that never made it. The Wizard of Anne.
The Wizard of Anne.
That's right.
Now, there's a show. This might be a good time to mention, too, the studio here is getting some renovations.
That's
and so
right.
if
That's
you
right.
hear some noises
That's
in
right.
the background, that's just the contractors.
Those are the
drilling and
contractors.
hammering
That is
and
not the dentist.
part of the show.
The dentist is not here taking care of my cavity. That's right. Although it may remind you of dentists taking care of your cavities.
That's right. The phone number to call anytime. If you have a question,
608-492-9292. It's a great number. 608-492-9292. Email me at askdrzorba@gmail.com and the website, drzorba.org.
All right, let's kick off today's healthy living topic with an email we received from a listener, Molly, who writes, "Hello, Dr. Zorba and podcast team. Do we have a team here?
Yeah, we're the team.
We're the team. It's a duo.
Team of two.
Yeah.
You can be a team. Does a team
of
always
two.
imply more than two?
Or more
No.
than one. Is a team more than one?
Well, a team is more, team is more
Okay,
than one. Yeah,
so we're a team.
Yeah.
Thanks, Molly. I've heard you speak many times on the radio program about blue zones. While I appreciate the concept, I have grown skeptical of them. My concern is that the blue zones, they're a moneymaker, as in you can pay to have your restaurant, quote, blue zone certified, etc. As a speech pathologist, I have an interest in misinformation, data distortion.
Blue Zone certified restaurants. They have not come to Madison, Wisconsin.
No. Well, we're so far
Not
from
that I
a
know
blue
of.
zone, right? I
Yeah,
think
I
you got
guess
to be in
so.
a blue zone,
Yeah,
right?
I don't know.
Maybe? I don't know.
Maybe there is a Blue Zone certified restaurant, but
Who knows?
anyway.
Yeah. Anyways, Molly says, as a speech pathologist, I have interest in misinformation, data distortion, and the
Right on.
motivation of money in medicine.
Right on.
The persuasive spread of misinformation has directly affected my caseload in the past.
I bet it has.
I've seen families purchase products or services in hopes that they will cure their child's disability.
Right.
And it's very disheartening to see that.
Expensive rubbish. Right.
Thank you for continuing to produce the show. I have
Right.
literally listened to the program since I was a child.
Wonderful.
Wow. Does that make you feel old at all?
No, I feel old anyway.
Okay.
When I look in the mirror, I feel old. When I look away from the mirror doing the podcast, I don't feel old at all. Well, getting back, first of all, she's right. There's a lot of trash out there that they want to sell you. So Blue Zone was really some research done in the year 2000. A Harvard researcher, I think it was from Harvard, but I don't remember, tried to look at people who live longer, 7 to 10 years longer, centenarians,
Right, over 100.
Over 100 people. And then basically wrote a book about it, wrote a number of things. I have the Blue Zone Cookbook, which is a pretty interesting cookbook. And the areas that they looked at, they included Okinawa, Japan, Greece, Sardinia, Costa Rica, a few other places, and Loma Linda, California.
That's
where
like
they
in
have
the
lots
Los Angeles area, generally?
So if we look at what they have, 7 to 10 years longer, you've got to look at a few things. So first of all, we can't discount the concept of genetics before I talk about what the activities they engage in. You can't discount that. So in other words, in Okinawa, Japan, there are people from Okinawa. So they may have a lot of genes that actually give them a long life. And the same in areas of Greece and Sardinia. So for instance, if you look at Eastern Europeans that come over, a lot of them have heart disease, not because they're in bad habits, but because that's in their genes. And if you look at people from Central Africa, they have very much less heart disease because they have different genes. So there are differences there. So you can't ascribe it all to what they are doing. Okay, so that's number one. And then the idea that there are Blue Zone certified restaurants, who's going to certify them? I mean, so we want to talk about what they have. They generally have, let's talk about the characteristics, because he wrote about this, saying what can we learn from it. Number one, they've got 9 different things. They generally eat a primarily plant-based diet. Okay, I can dig that. I understand that. In fact, the Seventh-day Adventists, mostly a lot of them in California, but all over the country, they are vegetarians. So we know that's pretty good. Even though RFK and the rubbish that comes out of Washington with the upside-down food pyramid says we should eat more red meat and start to cook things in beef tallow, the Blue Zones argue against that, in that plant-based diets are really good, which I agree. They do intermittent fasting. That's kind of interesting. Mm-hmm. We've talked about that.
Sure.
On the podcast, we'll talk about that again. Fasting during the daytime and other stuff. Very interesting. They do intermittent fasting. Avoiding alcohol entirely or drinking in moderation. Often if they drink, they have a little bit of red wine. I often have red wine. I have wine with dinner, not every night, but I often have it. I don't have very much of it, but I like the taste of it. Embracing a sense of purpose in their lives.
That seems important.
Really important. And they often have a community with that. So not just purpose, but purpose and community often really go hand in hand. Because when you have purpose, you're often doing things for others. Following a daily lifestyle that encourages natural, vigorous movement. So that means not just walking to the mailbox if it's outside your house, but actually walking. So once again, exercise. Adopting some daily stress release. I don't know exactly what that means when he wrote that, but that can be meditation, mindfulness, taking time off, shutting the screen off.
There you go.
Shutting off the phone. People say, why didn't you text me back? Because I had my phone off. And they'll go, what? Why did you do that?
How dare you?
Incorporating religion or spirituality in their lives, that's part of it. Having a stable and extended family structure, often with young people, so you have intergenerational play. I kind of really like that. I like the concept. I'm old, 78.6. I like the digital way of doing it. 0.6. I like that. But I like not only seeing my grandchildren, but I like engaging with activities people are 20 and 30 years younger than me. Why? Because I kind of look at things differently. I mean, my children who are 30 years younger look at things differently. I looked at things differently. So that, I think, leads to vibrancy. That's a good idea. And finally, developing supportive social networks and lifelong friendships. All this stuff is good.
It's good stuff.
All this stuff is good. Now, what's missing here is the Blue Zone restaurant business. So that they don't put as number 10. They don't do number 10 is start a Blue Zone restaurant business or bluestonefood.com. So you can get Blue Zone food to your door.
You were asking who certifies this like a Blue Zone restaurant? I know who it is.
Who it is?
It's the Blue Zone Group. Isn't that who does it?
I've seen them before.
They paint themselves blue.
The Blue Zone Group are the ones that certify that. That's very good.
All
bang,
right.
bang, bang.
Yeah, we're getting some renovations in the studio. If you have a question for the good doc, you can call this number anytime.
Anytime.
Remember, that was our thing for a while. We did that on the old WPR show.
That's right.
How many times can we say anytime?
That's right.
That's
right. We can do it for the whole show. That's what we can do.
Anytime. 608-492-9292.
And you can email me at askdrzorba@gmail.com. I love answering those emails. And, of course, I've got a website, drzorba.org.
All right, Zorba, let's go to our hotline. Let's go to the phones right now. Let's try to help out a caller from Nixa, Missouri. Hi.
Well, hello. It's my favorite Dr. Zorba and Carl. Good to talk to you again.
Thank you. Thanks. By the way, where is Nixa? And how many Nixas are there in the world? I mean,
Well, we're the only ones. We're in southwest Missouri near Springfield.
oh, near Springfield. Okay.
Gotcha.
I've been down there. Beautiful area. Beautiful
I
area.
heard
Yeah,
you
it's
say
the Ozarks.
the Ozark. Yeah. Is that why
Yeah.
you're saying Missouri, by the way? Because you're down that area?
Because he
I
lives.
guess it's because I'm a hillbilly.
No, I'm not
that-
saying that. I definitely wasn't saying that. We've talked to Missourians before, and it seems like it's a debatable thing. Is it Missouri or Missouri? And you're clearly in the camp of Missouri.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to go to battle on whichever way people want to pronounce
That's
it.
right.
Sounds
Well,
like it's an
I
old
was
battle.
I was a 35-year trooper with the Missouri State Highway Patrol. So on
Got
the
it.
job, it's Missouri.
Got it. On the job, it's Missouri. Off the job, it's something else.
It's something
That's
else.
it.
There you
That's
go.
it. You got it. So how can we help you?
Well, my question is this. I'm a typical mid-70s-year-old male who occasionally, not chronic, but occasionally have a little difficulty falling asleep or staying asleep. I do not have apnea. I do not wake up tired in the morning. I sleep well. But about a year ago, I found that if I took a little bit of melatonin, it really helped me. But I'm concerned about tolerance or taking it too often and losing its efficacy. And so I take it maybe once every 7 to 10 days. But here's my real question.
Sure.
I found that if I took any of the pain medication PM variations like naproxen or acetaminophen PM, that one of those really worked well too. And then a little while ago, I read an article about some concern linking any of the PM medications which contain diphenhydramine and memory loss or dementia.
Sure. Well, when we look at sleeping aids, which are really, important, it's interesting. Today I was working in peds. I still work, and I was filling in a peds, walked in, and there's a 3-year-old baby.
Is that pediatrics, by the way? Peds?
Yeah.
Okay.
I sorry.
It's all right.
Sorry, my bad.
I'm just translating for the everyman out there.
Peds. I'm sorry.
Pediatrics.
We think of peds as pediatric. What would you think of peds as?
I don't know. I mean, you're doctors, so yeah.
Yeah, just doctors speak.
Yeah.
How about ortho?
I know what that is.
Orthopedics.
Yeah.
How about medicine?
I know medicine.
Medicine. Anyway, so there's this 3-year-old, and I walked in and I said, the baby was sleeping. I said, sleeps like a baby. Who would want to sleep like a baby? And she goes, right. Who wants to wake up every 3 hours and just stay awake and then drink, all the milk you possibly can fit in your stomach and then go back to sleep? It was a funny thing. But we think about the fact that, and it's true, when we're younger, we sleep longer for a whole bunch of reasons. If you're not in stress, you've got a bigger bladder, so you sleep longer. You don't have to get up in the middle of the night. But also, sleeping things change with age. You don't get into that deep sleep. I remember, would you remember as a teenager, Carl?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. How long would you sleep for?
I could sleep forever, especially in high school and college. I would go.
Ever is how long?
I would sleep till 2 or 3 in the afternoon.
And what time
all
would you
the
go to
time.
sleep? 2 or
Well,
3?
I mean, I went to bed later, but still, I would
Well,
get
did
like
you go to
12
sleep?
hours of sleep all the time.
12 hours sleep all the time.
Now I've never. I
Have
can't
you
even,
tried to get 12 hours?
No, it doesn't work
you've got
anymore.
2 kids, so you're not going to be able to do it.
If I get 7, I'm feeling good.
Yeah, but you can't get to 12 anymore. So part of it is there's a certain cycle with sleep. So let me tell you just a bit about the natural sleep cycle. There's the first 2 to 4 hours of sleep tend to be a deep sleep. We tend to wake up very naturally after about 3 to 4 hours. Quite often when we're older, we have to go to the washroom. And then we have another sleep curve. It's sort of like a double hump curve. So that is a problem with issues. Some people can't stay asleep because that in-between time they wake up too much, in between the first curve and the second curve. So first of all, let's look at melatonin. Does it work for you?
Yes, it does very well. About 2 milligrams, and it's very effective.
You could take it every night. No problem. Melatonin has been around for a long time. You can take it every night. I recommend people get a melatonin that you buy in a name brand store, Costco, Walmart, Walgreens, Target, a name brand melatonin, because you want to make sure it has melatonin in it. There's consumerlab.com, checks all supplements. Most of the supplements, melatonin is checked. So you want to make sure you're getting a regular amount of melatonin. If you've got a name brand, it's working for you, stick with it. That's the safest thing you can do. Now, Tylenol PM, Advil PM, all of those contain an antihistamine. Antihistamines are really interesting. The side effect of old-fashioned antihistamines like Benadryl, which is diphenhydramine is the generic term, is sleepiness. So is it good for you as you get older? Well, that's been a big issue. So first of all, it's on a list called the Beers List, Beers, by a guy named Dr. Beers. Came up with a list years ago about meds that may not be beneficial but may actually be bad for you as you get older. So one of the issues with antihistamines is people may get dizzy when they get up in the middle of the night to go to the loo, go to the John, and all of a sudden they're dizzy and they may fall and hurt themselves. So that's one of the reasons that it's often recommended you don't take it over the age of like 70 or 75. That may be one issue. I don't think the dementia issue, I've looked at that research, I don't believe it. Even though that's been out there, there's really no good study that shows that antihistamines cause dementia. So I think there's a lot of noise in that sphere. There's research, some scientific research, but I don't believe it. But I worry a little bit about, the shakiness. So if you take that drug and you get up in the middle of the night, do you sit by the side of the bed, or do you have to go to the bathroom, or do you just head over there?
Well, I rarely have to get up in the middle of the night, so I haven't reached that point in life, but I have never
Wait a minute,
experienced...
how old are you and you haven't reached that point?
75.
So you're lucky. Carl is now...
I'm impressed.
Do you get up in the night?
I do, yeah.
You're
I'm in my 40s.
You're in your 40s and you get up in the night. His bladder is better than your bladder.
I'm
That's
jealous.
right. Carl is now jealous of your bladder. That's exactly it. But when you get up in the morning, I don't think dementia is the issue. When you get up in the morning, I have two suggestions. First of all, sit on the side of the bed and count to 10. 1, 2, 3, it's a long 10, 4,
It was a long
5.
10.
But just give your body a chance to equilibrate. Because one of the problems is it won't be equilibrated necessarily when you get up. And that's your most likely time to fall, is when you get up and when you go to the washroom, when you sit on the commode. When you sit on the commode, you are most likely to fall, especially in the morning, because you get up too quickly and we are dehydrated. Because we didn't have anything to drink for 8 hours. And often as we get older, our sense of taste decreases, our sense of thirst decreases, and we often dehydrate. So my other recommendation is when you get up in the morning, give yourself some water, 6 ounces, 4 to 6 ounces, just beginning to get some water into your system, maybe by the side of your bed. Counting to 10, you can have some water by the side of the bed. Drink that 6 to 8 ounces of water, and by that time, you've actually started to hydrate yourself. You're getting up during the night, and that may keep you from falling. That is the risk factor at the age of 75 that I'm concerned about, not dementia.
Well, that's great. Thank you for that information. But I'll tell you this, you're asking me to equilibrate, and I'm not sure a trooper knows what that word means.
That was new to me, too. That was new. Yeah.
Equilibrate.
Yeah, I'm glad you asked.
Yeah, but troopers go suddenly, right? Because in your job, you had to be Johnny on the spot and just go very quickly to everything, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I did. But I really appreciate your information. And if I'm understanding correctly, I can take melatonin more than once a week.
That's right. You can take it every single day. That is the safest, absolutely safest drug you take. If you find a brand you like, stick with that brand. And thank you.
Okay.
And thank you for your service.
You're welcome. And thanks for the advice. I've listened to you for many years and hope to continue to do so.
Well, thank you. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that. You take care.
Good day.
Good day. Carl.
Tell me, Zorba.
You know how much I love coffee.
Oh, you
right?
love coffee.
Years ago, I tried Just Coffee Co-op's Bike Fuel.
Bike Fuel.
Medium roast coffee. Yeah. And I was smitten. It's fair trade organic coffee. I bought it and I am hooked.
You're still drinking it today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Just Coffee Cooperative. It's a worker-owned fair trade and organic coffee roasting co-op in Madison, Wisconsin. And they're dedicated to a model of commerce based on transparency, transparency, respect for labor, and environmental sustainability.
That's right, Carl. No flavors, no additives, just coffee. And guess what, listeners? If you use the code Zorba10, you'll get 10% off your entire order on their website, www.justcoffee.coop. Just Coffee Cooperative. Justice from the grounds up.
If you have a question for the good doc, call this number, 608-492-9292.
Or email me at askdrzorba@gmail.com. I love answering those emails. And remember, I've got a website, drzorba.org. Come to it. Look at it.
Great site.
It's great.
Great site. All right, Zorba. Let's take a listener email, yeah? Sound good?
Perfect.
Okay. You agree to answer this question?
I agree.
Okay.
You mean before I get the question? Absolutely. I will agree to answer this question.
You consent to answering this
Cross
question?
my heart, hope to die.
Okay.
Actually, I don't really hope to die. And I really will not cross my heart, but I will do it.
You will answer that. All right.
Yeah.
This is from a listener named Beth, who writes, Hi, Dr. Zorba. I just listened to your latest podcast where you talked about sinus rinses.
Yes.
I recently purchased some pre-packaged rinse powders. The instructions say not to use tap water,
Right. That's
unless
what they
it is
say.
boiled,
That's right.
then cooled.
That's right.
Or they say use
That's right.
distilled or microfiltered water.
That's right.
So my question is this a must? I never did this previously, and I wonder, is this really necessary?
It is not a must.
It's not a
They
must.
put it in all the time because they say, well, you may actually, because tap water is not sterile. So if you get distilled water, it's not sterile either, but they've taken all the minerals out of there. And the theory is, we're just going to use water like that. It's a CYA. You know what CYA means. Not everyone.
After
yes.
dinner?
Cover.
Cover your, got it.
your
Anus.
Anus. That's what they do. But the reality is
Moving
you
right
can
along.
use any water you want to. I've gotten pushback on that from people that say, no, it should be distilled water. That's what it should be. And my answer is, if you want to use distilled water, by all means, use it. But it is not essential.
All right. Let's do a mom joke. It seems like a good time to do a mom joke. My mom writes jokes, folks, and I record her saying them, and then we play them on the podcast.
right.
And Zorba loves it.
That's right. Yeah, you're the Punster family.
And the punsters, there you go. That's right.
Does your brother do puns too?
He does some puns. His
lot
humor's a
of
little
it.
different. His humor's pretty weird. He's not as much into puns. He's more into human behavior and observing human behavior.
And making fun of it.
Kind of, yeah. In a really nice,
Yeah,
funny way. Yeah.
Yeah. What was Thanksgiving dinner like when you guys sat around the table after you have drinks? Do you laugh at each other?
I think maybe I told this on the
Yeah.
show before, but there was a Thanksgiving dinner where I think I was in high school.
Yeah.
And this is when I really realized how strange my dad's humor was. We were just sitting around, and I think there was a lull in the conversation, and my dad just starts laughing really hard. We're not sure why he's laughing, and I'm like, Dad, what's so funny? And he says, I just realized I've turned into a bloated parody of myself. And it came to him all of a sudden.
And your dad isn't bloated.
Not at all.
He's a thin guy.
I think everyone looks at themselves in the mirror as they age, and they probably see a bloated parody in different ways.
Totally. I look in the mirror, and the first thing I do is shut off the light and leave the room. That's what I do.
All right, let's get to this mom joke. This is
I've got a 12-pack. I don't have a 6-pack. Or a 1-pack.
Or 1-pack. Okay, this is for any Wizard of Oz fans out there. This is Mom Jokes. Mom Jokes.
What sound do you hear when Dorothy's dog really wants to go pick up a case of Chardonnay? Total wine.
Oh.
Toto wine. So I think you got to know about Total Wine to get that joke.
Yeah, that's right. But you do. You have to know
Oh,
the store.
Mom, what did you
Total
do with
Wine.
that
It's
one?
in Madison all over.
Oh my
Total
gosh.
Wine.
Toto Wine.
You know something really. I think you're born with
criminal.
this gene. Like some people can remember things. Some people are good at math. Some people know pi to like 16 digits. Your family knows jokes.
Just puns.
That's right. You should have
Terrible
gone
jokes.
into writing, like joke writing on the Johnny Carson show.
I should. Well, I kind
Put
of
'em
do
in
it
the
here, I
family.
guess, a
You
little
do
bit.
it here.
But
but Johnny
small
Carson
time.
had 30 million viewers every night. We don't
It's
have
true.
those many.
We're close.
Yeah, we're close. That's right. We're getting closer.
We are.
Little
We're
with a
very
teeny
close.
bit at a time.
Little
30 million.
Every bit counts. All right.
We're not the Kardashians.
No.
Sorry. It ain't going to happen.
Let's dive back into that email bag. Let's take another listener email. This is from Eric, who writes, I'm 62 years old, and looking back at the immunization records that my mother kept, it appears that I was immunized back in 1964 for the measles before I was a year old.
Right.
So Eric's asking, should I be getting a booster shot or
Well,
not?
the answer is probably yes.
It is.
Because we discovered that when you're first immunized, that did not last. And so there was a second shot. I'd have to look at the present recommendations. I think it's at 5, but it's definitely a 2-shot regime.
Okay.
You have to get the first MMR, you get the second one. But the reality is he may not have full immunity to everything. So my recommendation is, get the shot.
Okay.
You don't have to necessarily do the, you don't have to necessarily do the antibodies. I would say if you were my patient, I would say, let's get the shot and do it, because you never had the 2-shot regime. And when they first came out, they weren't 2 shots. They were a 1 shot.
There's no harm in that at all?
Not at all.
Okay.
And, science, once again, is not a vote. It's not absolute. It changes with information.
It evolves, right?
Correct. Always, every time.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. If you have a healthy living question for Zorba, just post on our Facebook page. You can email askdrzorba@gmail.com.
Or come to our website, drzorba.org. And don't forget, you can call us at 608-492-92.
Are you running out of gas?
No, I'm waiting for the jingle.
Oh, that's true. You really want that jingle.
I do want a jingle.
We got to wrap this one up, though.
Okay.
What did we
No
learn
jingle.
today? No
Wrap it
jingle.
up.
Maybe next time.
Yeah.
I can't just make one right now.
Strike the set.
Okay,
strike the set.
What did we talk about? We talked about blue zones.
Yes.
Yeah. You helped out a
Yes.
caller with some sleep issues.
Correct.
Talked about the sinus rinse.
Yep.
Learned about Dorothy's dog Toto whining
That's
and the
Toto
measles
whining.
booster shot. We learned a bunch today.
No, we did. We did. And by the way, we love it. We love to answer questions. I love when people call. Really, leave us a voicemail, because we'll often put some of the voicemails on the air. You can also leave us a voicemail and tell us you want us to call you back. I love answering those questions at 608-492-9292. Email me at askdrzorba@gmail.com. I love answering those. And remember, Carl and I have a website, drzorba.org. And don't forget to stay well.